There's a movement that I want to lend my endorsement to, and that I hope that all honorable, decent, and patriotic Canadians from coast to coast to coast will support and join me in support in endorsing. Now, there's been a study that has just concluded which reveals that while Canada has the third largest oil reserves on the planet, I mean, oil all over the place, we're bathing in this stuff. This country imports over $300 million of Saudi oil every month. Now, this doesn't make any sense. This makes no sense whatsoever. The country, according to World Atlas, which has the largest oil reserves, is Venezuela. Saudi has the second largest, and Canada has the third. So we're in competition. We're in direct competition with Saudi Arabia, the same country which threatened us with a 9/11 style attack on one of their government websites, if you remember that. The same Saudi Arabia that many in the global elites of the world love to kiss the ring of and kneel at the feet of. This is the same country which many of the 9/11 hijackers came from, the same country which women have very, very few rights, if any at all. And we, Canada, which is run by a so-called feminist who claims he's a feminist, Justin the Long-Eared Mac Daddy Trudeau, who says that, women this, I'm a feminist, don't interrupt women, I love women, I believe women, and he says he's a feminist, but he is allowing this country to take over $300 million worth of Saudi oil, not every year, but every month. So I'm saying that we need to stop Saudi oil. I'm going to support this movement, which has been created by Ontario Proud, one of my favorite groups on Facebook, one of my favorite groups in politics. Now, I have a link that is pinned at the top of the comment section. It will direct you to a website called stopsaudioil.com. I'm going to need you to sign that petition. Now, I have not been one to hand out petition after petition after petition. The only other time I have ever truly endorsed a petition was the one when we were calling for the long-haired Mac Daddy Justin Trudeau to be raked over the coals over his groping incident, and that was a very successful endeavor. Well, I'm going to help Ontario Proud. I'm going to put this petition on the top of the comment section of this video, and I'm encouraging all of you, if you got honor, if you're a Canadian and you have honor, you will sign this petition. We need to stop this foolishness. We cannot, that's like Walmart saying that they're going to buy products from Amazon. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. How stupid can you be? We need to send a clear message to the people who are running this country that we're not going to take this stupidity anymore. Who you think you are? I mean, who told you could take all that oil from Saudi Arabia? Who told you could do that? Who said you can do that? Canadian government. Who said you could? Who gave you the right to sacrifice our oil and have a Mac Daddy who actually has said that he wants to phase out oil sands, saying that he misspoke, and many people who want to get rid of the fossil fuels here, and yet we're taking $300 million worth of oil from Saudi Arabia? Who gave you the right to do that? Only a dishonorable people in a dishonorable country would allow such a thing to happen. And I don't want to stand for it. I'm not going to stand idly by to watch this happen. So sign that petition. If you do it. I don't care if it's Sunday night and you got to go to bed. Take 2 seconds out of your time and sign this thing. If you have honor. If you don't have honor, then shame on you. Shame, you weak individual. You got no honor for your nation. You're a dishonorable wretch, and I have no respect for you. But if you have honor for Canada, you will sign this petition. Now, it may not work. The government may not even look at us. They may spit on us. They may not even do. But if the media, which the same media showed how many people signed that petition that was written up and developed where the Mac Daddy was to be called for the groping incident to be investigated. When we set up that, well, not we, but we endorsed that petition, and many people signed it, and the media could not ignore it. They could not ignore that. They couldn't ignore it. The number was too high. We need to show that Canadians aren't going to put up with this anymore. So sign that petition. I urge you, every honourable Canadian has to sign this, and let's take back our oil. Let's support Alberta. Let's support the West. Let's support our workers. Let's support our energy. Let's support our fossil fuels. Let's support our natural resources. Let's get it done. And while we're at it, I support that idea of having a flag next to the gas pumps, which would demonstrate where that gas or oil came from, which country it came from. And I would say if there was a Saudi flag on it, you would avoid that gas station like the plague, I would say. I think that our energy resources have to be made here. We have to protect our natural resources, because we got, number one, we got politicians who are trying to destroy our energy sector and our fossil fuel sector and take all of our people, our good, hard-working, blue-collar people who work in that industry and who've been working through that industry, and throw them out into the street. But we're also taking oil and gas and minerals and all sorts of different forms of energy from countries that would blow us up in 2 seconds if given the chance. So let's do this. Let's show that we are a strong, honorable people who want to stand up on our own 2 feet and say to hell with Saudi Arabia and their oil. And we spit on that. This is the Arana Nation.